In the armed services, a military cadence or cadence call is a traditional call and response work song sung by military personnel while running or marching. In the United States, these cadences are sometimes called Jody Calls or jodies, after Jody, a recurring character who figures in some traditional cadences. Jody refers to the man with whom a serviceman's wife/girlfriend cheats with, while they are deployed. Requiring no instruments to play, they are counterparts in oral military folklore of the military march. As a sort of work song, military cadences take their rhythms from the work being done. Many cadences have a call and response structure of which one soldier initiates a line, and the remaining soldiers complete it, thus instilling teamwork and camaraderie for completion. The cadence calls move to the beat and rhythm of the normal speed march or running in formation march. This serves the purpose of keeping soldiers dressed, moving in step as a unit and in formation, while maintaining the correct beat or cadence. The word cadence was applied to these work songs because of an earlier meaning, in which it meant the number of steps a marcher or runner took per minute. The cadence was set by a drummer or sergeant, and discipline was extremely important, as keeping the cadence directly affected the travel speed of infantry. There were other purposes. The close order drill was a particular cadence count for the complex sequence of loading and firing a musket. In the Revolutionary War, Baron von Steuben notably imported European battlefield techniques which persist, greatly modified, to this day. The Duckworth chant. A V-disc about this sound issued in 1944 credits the origin of sound off to Private Willie Duckworth, an African-American soldier serving in the United States Army. As a company was returning from a long tedious march through swamps and rough country, a chant broke the stillness of the night. Upon investigation, it was found that a Negro soldier by the name of Willie Duckworth, on detached service with the Provisional Training Center, was chanting to build up the spirits of his comrades. It was not long before the infectious rhythm was spreading throughout the ranks. Foot-weary soldiers started to pick up their step in cadence with the growing chorus of hearty male voices. Instead of a downtrodden, fatigued company, here marched 200 soldiers with heads up, a spring to their step, and happy smiles on their faces. This transformation occurred with the beginning of the Duckworth chant. Upon returning to Fort Slocum, Private Duckworth, with the aid of Provisional Training Center instructors, composed a series of verses and choruses to be used with the marching cadence. Since that eventful evening, the Duckworth chant has been made a part of the drill at Fort Slocum, as it proved to be not only a tremendous morale factor while marching, but also coordinated the movements of close order drill with troop precision. This original cadence was recorded as sound off. Sound off, 1 to 2, sound off, 3 to 4, cadence count, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 1 to 2, 3 to 4. This cadence, known as the Duckworth chant, still exists with variations in the different branches of the U.S. military. Duckworth's simple chant was elaborated on by Army drill sergeants and their trainees, and the practice of creating elaborate marching chants spread to the Air Force, Marine Corps, and Navy. A musical version of the chant was recorded by Von Monroe and his orchestra on March 7, 1951. It was released by RCA Victor Records as catalog number 20-4113A and by EMI on the His Master's Voice label as catalog number B10086. A variant of that cadence was used in the 1949 movie, Battleground, in the 1981 movie Taps, filmed in Valley Forge Military Academy and College in Wayne, Pennsylvania in 1980–1981. It appears in two versions in the film, both ending in the same cadence. Collected cadences. Some common cadences collected at the U.S. Naval Academy include Old King Cole, Blood Upon the Risers, I Wish All the Girls Were, Satan's Raiders, Irene Irene. As soon as 1952, the U.S. Army adopted the Army Goes Rolling Along as its service theme song, with the lyric count off the cadence loud and strong, a reference to Duckworth's cadence. Its melody and lyrics derive from the traditional when the caissons go rolling along. The United States Marine Corps and U.S. Naval Academy use a modified version of the old King Cole lyrics, referencing Chesty Puller. Chesty Puller was a good Marine, and a good Marine was he. Jody Calls. In the United States, what are now known as cadences were called Jody Calls or Jody from a recurring character, a civilian named Jody, whose luxurious lifestyle is contrasted with military deprivations in a number of traditional calls. The mythical Jody refers to a civilian who remains at home instead of joining the military service. Jody is often presumed to be medically unfit for service, a 4F in World War II parlance. Jody also lacks the desirable attributes of military men. He is neither brave nor squared away. Jody Calls often make points with ironic humor. Jody will take advantage of a service member's girlfriend in the service member's absence. Jody stays at home, drives the soldier's car, and gets the soldier's sweetheart while the soldier is in boot camp or in country. The name derives from a stock character in African American oral traditions, Joe the Grinder. The character's name has been transcribed as Jody, 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 or even Joe the ______ with Joe then identified by occupation. He was a stock anti-hero who maliciously took advantage of another man's absence. Enlisted African American soldiers incorporated this character into cadence songs during the Second World War. Lineberry emphasizes conflicting uses of the calls. They are useful to command, in that they serve as instruments to psychologically detach the soldier from home life, and to inculcate a useful degree of aggression. They are useful to the soldier, who can vent dissatisfaction without taking individual responsibility for the expression. While jodies, strictly speaking, are folklore, some are tolerated and even encouraged by leadership, while others are subversive. Common themes in jodies include homesickness, everyday complaints about military life, boasts and insults, humorous and topical references. Lineberry offers an alternative, psychologically and functionally oriented taxonomy. There are negative themes but also positive and perhaps in between, expressions of contempt for death and indifference to mortality. One example used in the U.S. Army. My honey heard me comin' on my left right on left. I saw Jody runnin' on his left right on left. I chased after Jody and I ran him down. Poor ol' boy doesn't feel good now. M.P.S came a runnin' on their left right on left. The medics came a runnin' on their left right on left. He felt a little better with a few I.V.S. Son, I told you not to mess with them 11 BS. One from the U.S. Marine Corps. Jody, Jody 6 feet 4. Jody never had his ass kicked before. I'm gonna take a 3-day pass. And really slap a beating on Jody's ass. In the first and last scenes of the 1949 movie Battleground, the cadence sung is as follows, with the call initiated by the platoon sergeant and the response from the rest of the platoon. You had a good home but you left / you're right. You had a good home but you left / you're right. Jody was there when you left / you're right. Your baby was there when you left / you're right. Sound off. /1, 2. Sound off. /3, 4. Cadence count. /1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They signed you up for the length of the war / I've never had it so good before. The best you'll get in a BIVOUAC / is a whiff of cologne from a passing whack. Sound off. /1, 2. Sound off. /3, 4. Cadence count. /1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There ain't no use in going back / Jody's livin' it up in the shack. Jody's got somethin' you ain't got / It's been so long I almost forgot. Sound off. /1, 2. Sound off. /3, 4. Cadence count. /1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your baby was lonely, as lonely could be / till Jody provided the company. Ain't it great to have a pal / who works so hard just to keep up morale. Sound off. /1, 2. Sound off. /3, 4. Cadence count. /1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You ain't got nothin' to worry about / he'll keep her happy until I get out. And you won't get home till the end of the war / in 1974. Sound off. /1, 2. Sound off. /3, 4. Cadence count. /1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Reverent. Reverent calls are an effort by personnel in armed forces to rebuild the tradition of oratory recounting of military history in the convention of cadences. The effect this instills is a greater reverence in the squad performing and for the force whose story is retold in honorable PT. Each branch of an armed force has its stories, and an example of the base used is the 75th Ranger Regiment, in which references to World War II, for example, are included to complement the story. Airborne Rangers lead the way. Lead in. Airborne Rangers lead the way. Deep in the battlefield covered in blood lies an airborne ranger dying in the mud. Airborne Rangers lead the way. With those silver wings upon his chest. Tell America that he's one of their best. Airborne Rangers lead the way. Lead out. Airborne Rangers lead the way. To hear this cadence, USA Airborne Rangers cadence, youtube.com. Comedic. Comedic calls are often born of reverent calls but sung for comedic value using clean calls, pop culture references, and jokes to make PT more fun and entertaining. A popular example from the film Stripes was "Why did the chicken cross the road? To get from the left to the right. Stepped out of rank, got hit by a tank. He ain't a chicken no more." Prior to women being commonplace in army ranks, sexist comedic cadences were more prevalent. Example: "See that lady wearing brown? She makes her livin' goin' down. She's a deep sea diver, a deep sea diver. See that lady wearing black? She makes her livin' on her back, she's a backstroke swimmer, a backstroke swimmer. See that lady from the south? She makes her living with her mouth, she's a rock and roll singer, a rock and roll singer." And so on. Controversial. Obscene, scatological, or controversial Jody calls exist, and were typical, especially during and before the Vietnam War. The use of such calls is now discouraged by the U.S. military, which instead emphasizes clean versions of traditional Jodies. The flexibility of Jodies is nearly unlimited, and old Jodies have always been revived or rewritten as times and wars change. Your left. Your left. Your left, right, left. My back aches. My belt's too tight. I don't know, but I've been told. Eskimo pussy is mighty cold. Sound off 1, 2. Sound off 3, 4. Airborne Ranger. Two old ladies lying in bed. One rolled over to the other and said, "I wanna be an Airborne Ranger. Live a life of danger. Blood, guts, and danger. That's the life of an Airborne Ranger. I wanna be an Airborne Ranger. I wanna live the life of danger." Airborne Ranger. Life of danger. I wanna be a scuba diver. Swim in those oceans wider and wider. Scuba diver, wider and wider. Airborne Ranger, life of danger. Paramedic, shoot that funky anesthetic. Paramedic, anesthetic. Mountain climber, climb those mountains higher and higher. Mountain climber, higher and higher. Navy pilot, if it's got wings then I can fly it. Navy pilot, I can fly it. I wanna be an airborne ranger. Live the life of guts and danger. Airborne Ranger. Life of danger. I wanna be a scuba diver. Swim around in the muddy water. Scuba diver, muddy water. Airborne Ranger, life of danger. I wanna be an SF medic. Shoot some funky anesthetic. S.F. medic, anesthetic. Scuba diver, muddy water. Airborne Ranger, guts and danger. And when I retire, I'm gonna be a Texas Ranger. Drive around in skin-tight Wranglers. Texas Ranger, skin-tight Wranglers. I'm gonna be a UPS man. Drive around in a ugly brown van. UPS man, ugly brown van. Texas Ranger, skin-tight Wranglers. I'm gonna be a forest ranger. Chipmunks are my greatest danger. Forest ranger, chipmunk danger. UPS man, ugly brown van. Forest ranger, chipmunk danger. My drill instructor. The Army calls them drill sergeants. The Navy calls them RDCs. The Air Force calls them their TIs. But mine is strictly a D. Drill instructor, then his rank. Unless you want to play games. Never sir or something more. Or my face is on the floor. If I called him drill sergeant, he'd take me out to the pit. If I called him a TI, he'd make me feel like I would die. If I called him RDC, he'd make an example out of me. So make sure you get it right, or you'll end up in his sights. An example of one such call is the first stanza of Yellow Bird. A yellow bird with a yellow bill was sittin' on my window sill. I lured him in with a piece of bread, and then I smashed his little head. In the last line, the word little is frequently used to replace profanity. This is an example of the minor tweaks that frequently occur in cadences depending on the particular military unit or installation they are used at. A particular cadence, when used by an infantry or other combat arms unit, may include explicit profanity, while the same cadence, when used by a training or medical unit, or especially if officers are present, may be censored to a degree, as above. The second verse to the preceding cadence. The moral of the story is: to get some head, you need some bread. Repeat. One from the U.S. Navy. I wanna be a Navy pilot. I wanna fly an F-14. I wanna fly with the cockpit open. I wanna hear those commies scream. An excerpt from the popular When I Go to Heaven, also known as How'd Ya Earn Your Living or When I Get to Heaven. When I go to bars, the girls they will say, how did you earn your living? How did you earn your pay? And my reply was with a cold kind of nod. I earn my living killing commies for my God. When I go home, the hippies they will say, how did you earn your living? How did you earn your pay? And I replied as I pulled out my knife. Get out of my way before I take your life. Another, more modern example of a controversial cadence popular through the U.S. Navy. I don't know, but it's been said. Air Force wings are made of lead. I don't know, but I've been told. Navy wings are made of gold. Hyar me. Baak packing ar my. Put on your packs and follow me. I'm in the U.S. Navy. Hei Air Force. Loau Flying Air Force. Get in your planes and follow me. I'm in the U.S. Navy. Hei Coast Guard. Pud Dle Pirate Coast Guard. Get in your boats and follow me. I'm in the U.S. Navy. Hei Marines. Bullet Sponge Marine Corps. Pick up your rifles and follow me. I'm in the U.S. Navy. The Marine cadence I went to the market is another vulgar cadence. I went to the market, where all the families shop. I pulled out my crowbar and started to chop. To the left right left right left right kill. Left right you know I will. I went to the church, where all the families pray. I pulled out my machine gun and started to spray. To the left right left right left right kill. Left right you know I will. Another closely related is as followed. I went to the mall, where all the ladies shop. I pulled out my crowbar and started to chop. To the left right left right left right kill. Left right you know I will. I went to the mosque, where the motherfuckers pray. I kicked in the door and threw in a grenade. I went to the park, where the kiddies like to play. I pulled out my saw and started to spray. To the left right left right left right kill. Left right you know I will. The popular Cold War era Jody on the Mountain is also fairly controversial, especially in non-combatant outfits and among cadet groups. One by one, we loaded our guns on the mountain all day and on through the night. 2 by 2, the commies came through on the mountain all day and on through the night. 3 by 3, we shot off their knees on the mountain all day and on through the night. 4 by 4, we shot some more on the mountain all day and on through the night. 5 by 5, we burned them alive on the mountain all day and on through the night. 6 by 6, we beat them with sticks on the mountain all day and on through the night. 7 by 7, we sent them to heaven on the mountain all day and on through the night. 8 by 8, the feeling was great on the mountain all day and on through the night. 9 by 9, the killing was fine on the mountain all day and on through the night. 10 by 10, we'll do it again for the mountain all day and on through the night. The following verses are from Napalm Sticks to Kids. One of the cadences of Vietnam, its use by the U.S. military created controversy about the theme. Bomb the village. Kill the people. Throw some napalm in the square. Do it on a Sunday morning. Kill them on their way to prayer. Ring the bell inside the schoolhouse. Watch the kiddies gather round. Lock and load with your 240. Mow them little motherfuckers down. The messages chanted by recruits may depict brutal treatment of civilians, and the themes even suggest that troops might kill civilians gathered in public areas. Non-military cadences. Police. Police personnel who train in paramilitary fashion also have acquired the tradition for its recruits in the police academy. However, the lyrics are changed for law enforcement, for example. A 6-gun, a tin star, a horse named Blue. In 1890 a cop held these true. In 1930 the Tommy gun. It made police work a lot more fun. A big block Dodge Polara pursuit. In 66 it came out of the chute. We got night vision on our MP5s. Theses are the tools to keep us alive. In 20 years, who knows what it will be. Phaser guns mounted on my Humvee. From a horse named Blue to a big Humvee. Will still PT in the academy. Fire Academy. Fire academies in the US often train in a paramilitary style. The following is a common cadence heard in the Fire Academy. When my grandmama was 91. She did PT just for fun. When my grandmama was 92. She did PT better than you. When my grandmama was 93. She did PT better than me. Hoorah grandmama! What ya doin' grandmama? She loves to double time. She does it all the time. Left left lefty right oh left right. Left left keep it in step now. When my grandmama was 94. She did PT more and more. When my grandmama was 95. She did PT to stay alive. When my grandmama was 96. She did PT just for kicks. Hoorah grandmama! What ya doin' grandmama? She loves to double time. She does it all the time. Left left lefty right oh left right. Left left keep it in step now. When my grandmama was 97. She up, she died, she went to heaven. When my grandmama was 98. She meet Saint Peter at the pearly gate. She said, Saint Peter, sorry I'm late. She went side straddle hoppin' through the pearly gate. When my grandmama was 99. She did PT mighty fine. She had OLJC Dublin time.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.